Good afternoon and welcome to Tuesday's Market SITREP or Situation Report here at Top Gun Options. My name is Matthew Buckley. My call sign is Wiz, and stocks got a little bit of a shock to the system here a little while ago, a couple minutes ago, after Mick Mulvaney said in an interview with Maria Bartiromo at the Milken Institute that, hey, China trade talks aren't going to go on forever, and they're going to be resolved one way or another during the next 2 weeks. So what did he say? That, a couple weeks ago, the president said, hey, man, we're not going to do a deal with China if it's not great. Obviously, great is a pretty diverse adjective there. So whether or not he intended his remarks to sound like the administration is souring on the prospects for a deal, that's how the market took it. And stocks moved briefly lower for a second. The main reason stocks are moving lower or broadly is Google's absolute shock. But let's stick with China for a second. Mnuchin and Ambassador Lighthizer are actually over in China now, sitting in a room talking. At least this guy, they all need to get on the same page. I mean, Kudlow's saying this, Trump's saying that, Mulvaney's saying this, Mnuchin's saying that, Lighthizer's saying this, Wilbur Ross is saying another. There's literally 7 people talking on behalf of the United States to the public as far as a trade deal. I reported several weeks ago that the reason that the president was pounding the hell out of the Fed to cut interest rates and actually do some QE or quantitative easing was because the president needs a put. He needs a put underneath this market in case it isn't going to be a great deal, and he walks away. The president walks away from a trade deal with China, and this thing implodes. Do not listen to any pundit who says the China trade deal is not built into this market. So they're telling me if the trade deal isn't built into this market, if the president walks away from it, the market's going to keep going higher. Are you high? If the president walks away from this market implodes. Period, and that'll be the reason that we roll over here. But I mean, domestically, why would the president be demanding the Fed cut interest rates and do quantitative easing again with the GDP at 3.2%, consumer spending roaring back, unemployment low, all sorts of great macroeconomic data? Why would the dude be screaming for an interest rate cut? So really interesting what's going on here. But the Alphabet earnings were an absolute, it's kind of like Tesla, folks. And there's been companies that have reported lately where I've seen the numbers like somebody needs to go to jail. The fact that they didn't warn how bad those earnings were going to be is criminal, right? The CEO has a fiduciary duty. Alphabet's down about 8-9% right now. Absolutely awful. And analysts are asking, hey, where are the earnings growth out of Google? Well, guess where they are? Alphabet stock tanks with analysts asking, hey, Google, what happened to revenue growth? You know where it's going? Right to Amazon. Amazon is actually starting to they're fishing in Google's advertising pond and taking a huge chunk out of it. I would be uber bearish on Alphabet, and I hate calling it Alphabet because it's actually Google, but Google is imploding, and it's awful. It is not, those earnings were awful. A little bit from now, the president's actually going to be sitting down with Nancy and Chuck. I don't think they're going to have cameras this time because the last time they had cameras, it didn't go so well. I enjoyed the transparency that we saw last time when they had a really very public fight in the Oval Office, but this time, no cameras. Who knows what the president will do out of the blue, though, maybe pull some cameras in. But this is the one thing that they might be able to agree upon is infrastructure. Let's take a look at our infrastructure play, CSX. Love our CSX. I had a Gordon Gekko moment when we got into CSX back here in July of 2017, and this thing's up about 60% since we got into CSX. Love it. Looking good. We have a bull put spread on in a couple in I think our primary live trade brief portfolio, and it's doing good, man. Looking good. We got Brazil. Bear call spread that's also looking good, up about 92%, $1,700, and our Visa synthetic stock position is up about $1,600 since we put it on last month, about 21% gain. We're going to look at putting some short calls on top of this in a little bit. So looking forward to our 1 o'clock brief. Amazon's looking great. Our Amazon Solo Friday service this week is actually going to be on Thursday. I'm hopping on a jet to go up to South Bend, Indiana, and then drive up to Michigan, where I'm giving a keynote for Whirlpool. Whirlpool does a great job supporting veterans. They provide appliances to homes for formerly homeless veterans, and I'm going up to give a keynote Saturday night on Lake Michigan. Really looking forward to that. So we're going to do our Solo Friday after Analyze Your Trade and debrief on Thursday. If you haven't grabbed your Solo Friday slot, you need to head to go.topgunoptions.com/solo, and you can get in there. It's only $97 a month or an $897 annually, and that's about a 25% discount. So really great service. We're having a good time. We established our base positions last week, synthetic stock with Amazon, and we're also trading XLY, which is a good proxy for Amazon because the XLY is made up of 25% of Amazon stock. So head to go.topgunoptions.com/solo, and you can join us Thursday afternoon for our next solo Amazon session. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see my members at 1 o'clock in the live training room.